Hello guys, welcome back with Panda. Today I'll review with you a platform called Here. Here is a real estate crowdfunding platform that allows you to invest in vacational rental from as little as $100. Think about this property you can find in Airbnb that's rented for a few $100s a day. You can now own piece of this for as little as $100 and you don't have to worry about management or anything else. Now before I go ahead and jump into this review, I want to take a moment and point out, as of the time I'm making this video, we're having a giveaway going on our channel. So if you are interested to enter, all you have to do is go to our homepage and check this video. We're describing how can you enter and the prices we are giving. I'm giving more than $500 worth of prices. The first price is $200. You can win cash prizes as well as marks. So if you are interested, just go ahead and jump in. Now let's go ahead and jump into the review. Now once you go ahead and create an account with here is what you will be able to see on the homepage. All the offering here have made literally since they started. Now I want to point out this platform is really young. They started literally last March, but I signed up back then and I decided to wait until I actually able to go ahead and show you guys the first return of investment, because instead of just give you a walkthrough, I want you to get a sense of, is this really worth your time? Now, I invested literally in every property they provided since day one. And the reason for this, I want to be able to go ahead and get a good sense. So if I go ahead and judge them in one property, it might not be fair. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through one of these properties. One thing I want to point out, as you can see here, the price per share is $1. So depending on whatever amount they decided to buy the property and all the cost and expenses involved, they go ahead and say this is how much the offering will be, and each share price is $1. But the minimum amount for you to invest is $100. So you cannot go ahead and invest $1 or $10. Now let's go ahead and take the first actually property they had, which is the Sunburst. Now FYI, I don't literally yet have any return of investment for Moonridge or Enchantment, whatever these names are. But I'm going to be honest, my first impression, they all looks cool. I mean, the last one, it looks too charming. This one is not yet available. And my recommendation, if you are interested in this platform and you want to go ahead and take a shot on it, you want to sign up now. Because what happens is, once they actually provide the offering, it will close within 24 hours. So they have a really big community for investors. So let me go ahead and review for you the first property I invested in. Alright, now let's go ahead and look at the offering. I'm going to be honest, one of the things I like about here is they are very clear. They highlight for you the important stuff up front. Here, how many bedroom we have, how many bathroom, how many people can actually go ahead and take it. Literally the same information you probably will be able to see in Airbnb if you decided to rent this property. You can go ahead and find more details. I believe they are providing a really good number of details. The market information. Now, if I go ahead down here, they also have their own grading system. So they take into consideration how much rental demand is there. They take into consideration how much percentage of the year they are able to actually go ahead and rent this, because again, these are vacational rental. They are not going to be available through the whole time. And they take other factor into consideration. The thing that I actually like is you can go ahead and also get a sense of the property. How much money would it be able to make per day? Again, if I'm renting a house, my return of investment probably in a month might be $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 if I have really cool property, right? But look at how much they are able to make on daily averages. $200 in average for January, $208. Again, these numbers are just an average based on historical data. There's no guarantee this is the numbers, because literally this property, they owned it less than a year. So they cannot provide you literally all over the whole year, right? So they are taking this stuff into consideration. Also the average occupancy around 80%, which is pretty cool. Now, these are all looks promising, and they also provide you information regarding the law. So as far as the detail of how much should you be able to expect from return, etc., I think the offering page is pretty decent. Now, this being said, none of this really tell me how much money will I get. And to be honest, until literally 2 days ago, I had no idea what kind of revenue. So people are investing in this property because the real estate market is so hot. Everybody go ahead and jump in, even though they cannot tell, yep, this is how much return I have. So I want to caution you guys. Look, I think it's a cool platform. I'm taking the risk, but I cannot yet recommend it for you. I don't want you to jump in just because it's a real estate and it might be a good idea. Let me go in and put my money, right? You need to understand what you are buying. Now, I'm going to go ahead and review for you the offering. But before we go ahead and do so, I want to actually go to the help section because I want to show you two important stuff. First, the fees. So let's go ahead and click on the fees. Here I actually collect two type of fees. Asset management fee, which is 0.25 per quarter, which is almost 1% on yearly basis, which is normal. A lot of companies do the same. Then they have the property management fee, and they are not really clear on how much this is. They're highlighting it actually varies from one property to another. And I believe this is because of the third party that they are using. Again, I understand when we are looking at rental, it will be a little bit different when it comes to operation costs, right? You have people to clean, you have people to go ahead and manage the property and all of these stuff. Airbnb management, it have a little bit more oversight than other stuff, right? So these are some of the stuff you need to keep in mind. Now I'm going to be honest, my first impression, this sounds good. I want to go ahead and get a piece of the Airbnb market, right? And to be fair, all the properties, if you go back to the offering, some of them are just charming. They have stuff from Florida all the way to California. So they are spread around the country, even though they are just getting started. So it's not one market. Let's look at this one. Honestly, this one just blew my mind. I'm going to go ahead and just show you the photos, right? I want to go in and stay here. It's just that much promising. And when they actually take a property, they don't just go ahead and, buy a property on Airbnb and they rent it out. Instead, they actually take a property, they fix it, and they spend a lot of money to do so before they actually go ahead and rent it out. So they technically take it to the next level, okay? Now, again, you can see all of the photos. You can actually go ahead and check each one of these property. And I'm going to go back in here, and now I want to go ahead and focus on the most important thing. Is this really profitable, right? So let's first go ahead and see the offering, because you cannot really tell if this is profitable until you understand how much they're actually adding as far as fee and all of this stuff. I'm not going to go through all of these, but I'm going to go all the way down here and click on the offering circular. Now we are looking at the SEC information, which is not fun, but trust me, you want to look at this. Again, this is all public information, but what I want to go ahead and see is how much should you expect from property. So this now in the first offering, they actually have all the 4 properties that I went through, and they pointed them out. The offering price, the maximum amount of offering, all this stuff were already here. Again, this is the structure. I don't care about all of this stuff. Now for the first property, here what we can see the actual price of the property here, which is around $345,000. After taking out the fees, which is the brokerage fees, only 1% is not bad. There's 8.8 for sourcing fee. I think this is for the operational cost. So these are some of the additional fee you take into consideration. Now I'm going to be honest, overall it doesn't sound bad. Technically my property 88.5%. So after taking the fees, I'm still really not paying so much fee when I compare it to other platforms. So I have no issue here. The question is from appreciation perspective, this is a property actually increase in value. So what we can do is we can actually take this address and go to Zillow right now and see how well this property actually did. Alright, here we go. Again, these are estimates, right? So right now they are estimating the property worth around $360,000. I'm going to say it's not bad. Again, it did not increase dramatically or anything, but it sounds reasonable. But again, right now, based on all of the information right now, like from the time they purchased the property until now, definitely I did not make any additional money from appreciation. And honestly, I'm not investing in vacational rental because I want appreciation, right? The biggest strength of a usually vacational renter is how much they are able to pay in dividend. I want to highlight this very clearly. Don't buy vacational rental because you want them to increase in appreciation over a long time, right? So let's go ahead and click on my portfolio and show you my return. Now here is my portfolio. As you can see, I invested $300, $100 technically for every first 3 properties, the minimum. But my return right now, what they are showing you based on the first property only, because this is the only property that already bypassed their period. So the way actually it works, once they have a property, you're only getting paid on a quarterly basis. So they don't announce any information until the quarter ended. So this was for the second quarter, which ended in June. And they literally just reported this 2 days ago. And usually they actually take anything between 60 days to 90 days to pay you. And literally based on their webinar, I'm expecting this return or payment go ahead literally in November. So again, it takes them so long time as far as payment. Take this into consideration. But let's focus on the stuff here. Now, this is what I made, 1.84 in the second quarter, and technically I'm going to make around 8% return of investment from a dividend. So this is cash flow. Now, I'm going to be honest, 8% is higher than most of the other single family housing, right? If I'm going to go ahead and compare this to rental, this is not bad. It's actually considered good, but it's not great. And I want to highlight this very importantly, right? They are putting an appreciation here, as I highlighted technically, the value increased, and they are giving you the overall return. So they are very clear. I like this. See, when do I get my first payment, right? November 22. So literally what? I invested in March. How many months I have to wait just to get my first payment? Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm not happy about this. I think it's taking too long for them to pay out, but I'm not really concerned about it as much. My only concern is the rental income. Based on what I'm seeing right now, is 8% really worth the headache I'm going through, right? Because the total return on 26%, actually it's not the highest. And again, it's an estimate, right? They are taking it as annualized based on the first quarter. If I'm comparing this to my investment in Arrived Home, in Land App, and etc., this is not a killer. So I'm not really impressed with the return in the first property. But again, I don't want to shoot them in the foot just because the first property did not, blow my mind. Again, for some of you, 8% might, wow, this is a good cash flow. And again, literally, if you own a house, you will not be able to make an 8% from rental income, right? So I don't think it's bad. I just don't feel it's like a mind-blowing. It's like I was expecting, like when I have to go into the Airbnb business, I'm looking for a minimum of 10% cash flow, and I'm not seeing this happening here. Now, I hope the next two property I have. So again, I have 3 properties, as you can see. None of them yet have the information, right? Moonridge and Enchantment. I'm waiting to see how well these gonna do. But look, when is my next payout? February 2023. OMG is that statement. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm not encouraged. The period it takes them to pay me out, it just feels forever, right? So I invested in these. I think one of them was in May and one of them was in June. And technically, how many months do I have to wait? More than 6 months to smell the first payment. It's a very ridiculous long time to wait. Again, I don't know if this something works for you guys or not. This is from my impression right now. I'm not just so excited. Now, to be fair, I understand they are very strategic about their location, from California, again, Great Smoky Mountains, all the way to, Florida. So they have a really good location overall. But my impression overall is like, as far as return, for the first quarter, it's not impressive. And I don't know why people are rushing in to buy. I was like, okay, real estate market right now is considered in a not the best place, right? We're on a recession and we're expecting the real estate market to slow down dramatically. So honestly, I don't see the return from appreciation. My focus on the rental. If they're gonna go ahead and pay me, I have to wait this long, 6 months just to smell the payment. God help us all. Also, I can't go ahead and sell my share yet. I don't know if they're going to be able to offer this anytime soon, but as of the time I'm making this video, there's no way for you to redeem it. So I don't really know how you guys feel about it. My first impression, I'm not excited. I'm honestly may not even invest in the first property. Based on what I'm seeing right now, if this is how long it takes me, I'm just not excited enough. I would prefer to go ahead and invest in other platform as Landa or Arrived. Again, I will post for you a bunch of the other platform in the description. Another thing I want to point out, Arrived Home actually is about to compete with here. So this announcement they just made shortly, they are going into the vacational rental. And I'm really interested to see how well they're going to be able to do. Because Arrived Home overall, when it comes to the return for investment from renter, is not really so high, but they believe they will be able to provide much higher return when it comes to cash. So if they are able to tell me, hey, we expect 8 to 9% return and we'll be able to pay on a quarterly basis, why would they go ahead and invest here? Again, I like the idea. I like the way they actually figuring the stuff, like, how they actually selecting the property, how they figure out the decoration, all of this stuff. They have like a really good team. But it's just not exciting for me based on the return of investment. Again, I feel for the risk I'm taking, I have to wait for getting my return that long. It just doesn't excite me. So these are the few things that my first impression here is not really here, right? I would love to hear from you guys. What do you think about here? Based on everything we have seen today, do you think this is an exciting platform you want to go ahead and jump in? Or do you think it's just not worth the trouble? Go ahead and let me know in the description. Now, I promise you in the future, I'm going to go ahead and do things. One, I'm going to provide you an update on my portfolio as I move forward. The second thing I'm going to go ahead and do, I'll make a comparison between here and Arrived Home as soon as they actually start offering the vacational homes. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you have not done so already. Like this video and turn on the notification button. Thank you guys and stay tuned with Panda.